folks, the FilipinaPea here, telling it like it is. So today I want to discuss a problem that not only plagues the Philippines, but countries all over the world, especially in places that are economically disadvantaged, and especially in countries with large populations of available young women. Yes, I'm talking about the SEXpat. Now let me define what I consider to be a SEXpat, because it doesn't match the standard definition of simply being a sex tourist. That definition doesn't go far enough, and it doesn't make a critical distinction that ought to be made here. Now I'm bound to get hate mail on this topic too, no matter what I say, which I'm getting rather used to. But too bad. The peace truth bombs land where they land and hit what they hit. For me, a sexpat is a foreigner who comes here with a desire for sex, yes, but here's the distinction. He comes here with the intention of deceiving women about his motives and his situation. The reason that's such an important distinction for me is that if you're coming here for sex, more power to you. Have all the fun you want, and there's plenty of it to have, but don't deceive the person you're with. What you do with a consenting adult is none of my business, and shouldn't be any concern of yours either. But if you're coming here just to get laid and don't give a damn about who you lie to and who you hurt because we're just foreign girls to you, then you're no friend of mine. Now, if you're coming here because you want sex, I don't necessarily have a problem with you. I've spent a lot of time around Filipinas from different backgrounds, different economic situations, and different hopes and dreams. So I know for a fact that many of us would still be happy to hang out with you, even if you told us the truth. Right or wrong, there are many girls who will knowingly trade a weekend getaway, some fancy meals, and some new experiences in exchange for sex. For many of us, that's a win-win situation. Does that make us sluts? Well, you can refer to my previous videos for my opinion on that subject. But, so what if it does? Do you care? You're just here for sex in the first place. And what do you think that makes you? But as I said, I have no problem with what two consenting adults agreed to do. Whatever floats your boat. The problem I have is when you lie about who you are, what your marital status is, and what your plans for the future are. Many of the women here are very innocent and very young, and when they look into your eyes and you tell them lies, they believe you. It's not a game for them. They may quickly think they're in love, sometimes for the first time. The relationship you've concocted for them may be fake, but their feelings aren't. And yes, sometimes they give themselves to you in the hope that you'll see in them what they think they see in you. And yet you betray them. I might say in the cruelest way possible. You get them to love you, and they lay with you, and then you stomp on their hearts, their dreams, and all their hopes for a future with you. And for what? To get laid? Come on, guys. That's the behavior of a monster, and we expect better than that from our friends to the West. Don't come into my country and trample on my sisters, or you trample on me. I am a Filipina. I think you know exactly what I mean by deceiving us Filipinas, but in case you want to play semantics with me, I'll spell it out for you. If you contact a Filipina and represent yourself as a single or divorced guy who's looking for a long-term relationship when you have a wife at home or just screwing around, you're purposely dangling a very attractive carrot in front of a very vulnerable prey. And that's why you do it. You fancy yourself a hunter, coming to the Philippines on safari with the intention of bagging some sweet young game and maybe even making few sex tapes to bring home as trophies instead of mounted head on the wall. That's utterly despicable. And you know it. Which makes it even worse. Or maybe you are a single guy here in my country to maybe look around for a possible mate you might marry someday, but you present yourself as eagerly searching for one true love, in order to attract as many marriage-minded women as possible and trade the promise of a relationship for sex. So you single guys aren't off the hook either. It all depends on the critical question of how honest you are about your real situation. If you're upfront with the Filipina about your plans for the future, and she hopes that by sleeping with you, she can change your mind and turn your head, then that's on her. But that's totally different, and you know it. Now, I'm not gonna get all pissy about things like your habit of shaving a few years or a decade off your age on your dating profile, or saying you're 6'2" when you're really 5'11". Apparently, both sexes routinely do that. I don't like it. I don't think it even helps you in the end. But I'm not talking about that type of low-level deception, and you know it. One last issue I'd like to address is the relationship between age and the title of SEXpat. I've noticed that for some reason, much older men seem to get called a SEXpat more readily than younger ones, even if they're behaving exactly the same way. Why is that? Is it the dirty old man stereotype that somehow, just because a man is older, he's not supposed to be looking at women he finds pretty, and that he should stick to his own age group because it's proper? Sorry to tell you this, but men are typically sexually active, or at least are interested in sex, till the day they die. Whereas some women in his general age group may not be. So is he just supposed to suppress it and shame himself for something he can't help? And why should he have to? As I've said previously, I have no problem with age gap relationships. I've been in them myself, and I prefer older, mature men, sometimes quite a few years my senior. But I don't let them take advantage of me, and I don't take advantage of them. That's a healthy way to exist in a relationship with honesty and openness. And I'm here to promote positive relationships, bringing our people together, East and West, exposing differences in our cultures and smoothing the path along the way while poking a little fun at both sides in the process. But if you try to tell me that large age gap relationships can't be healthy, then I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. And if you tell me you're coming to the Philippines for a vacation to be with beautiful women, I'm not even going to call you a SEXpat, even if you're considered one by the popular definition. The only important question for me is, does your Filipina know why you're really here? Think on that one. Truth bomb dropped. Thanks for spending time with me, and I'll be back with another big red pill for you to swallow in just a few days. There's no funny clip at the end of this video because the topic was just too important to lighten with humor. I hope you'll forgive me, but I'll make it up to you. Till then.